Hi, everybody. Don't bother. Don't mind me. I'm just playing with my hair this morning. I was trying to think if I should put it in a ponytail or if I should just leave it down. Maybe, maybe I'll braid it later. I don't know. Good morning. How are you? So, I did the card pull already. I have the 3 cards ready to go. So let's see what the message was for today. The first card that I pulled was called Time to Go, number 45. It's a beautiful card. Beautiful card. So 45, let's see what it says. So if you're on, this message may resonate with you, it may not. And it may be more specific, like it may not be the entire thing. It may be just relational, right? Good morning, Mary. How are you? It's lovely to see you on. So the essential meaning of time to go is endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. So the oracle's message: you are at the end of one journey and have not yet begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you've learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There's nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. Take the risk and move on, even if you need to be in transition for a time. Your destiny is calling you. So someone's getting called by their destiny. If you were looking more specifically at relationships, the message is it's over, or at the very least, this form of the relationship has taken, is that the form that the relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is a time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak of a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, it's more about release than destruction. Remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. And it's that whole analogy that I've said numerous times. You can't have a new cup if you're holding on to the old one. You have to let go. You have to let go to let in, right? And you have to say good. Sometimes you have to say goodbye to things. Like you can't. I mean, you could work more than one job, but if one job's toxic, if you really want to have a healthy job and you don't want to have that toxic job anymore, you actually have to let go of the toxic job to allow the space for that healthy job to come in. So if a question that you have is around prosperity, this message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find the success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You finish your tasks and can rest assured that this ending will open up a powerful new avenue of opportunity. Right now, I am standing at the end of, today's Wednesday, so I have the 3 days left of this week and then the full week next week, and I'm done my contract and walking away from that and stepping into my new job. So that would be an example of how this card is coming up for somebody in a prosperity messages. It could be you're finalizing that chapter, moving on into the next chapter of your life, and it's okay, right? Sometimes it can be sad. It can be sad to leave one chapter, but that doesn't mean that it isn't right to leave it. Just be thankful that you had the experiences and that you loved it, or you enjoyed it so much that there's that sadness in leaving it. You have done all you can now. You have done all you can. Now trust that spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life, and remember that when you close one door, another one opens. So the protection message. So if it was in this position, so I'm going to read this in case it makes more sense to somebody that's watching. So even if it appears that you've reached the end of that line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map to your soul. to destiny, sorry, your soul does. Spirit loves you. Trust that. So everything's going to be okay. This isn't an ominous card or a bad card. It could be that, one phase of your relationship has finished, right? Maybe you've been in a bad spot with your relationship and you've both done some healing. So you can kind of look at that old as being the old relationship and you're stepping into a new relationship. It could mean the actual end of a relationship because it's no longer serving you. You've learned all the lessons that you're supposed to learn from it. So now's the time to move on. Same thing with the job. It doesn't have to be that negative aspect or prosperity or whatever. It could be that you've just come to the end of your contract like I have. You finished all your tasks. It's time to move on. There's nothing bad in it. Or it could mean that it's time to actually say goodbye to something that you're doing right now and move into something else. But again, you can't have something new if you refuse to let go of the old. We can't change if we keep doing everything the same way that we've always done it. We have a sip of coffee. Because if I don't, then I end up getting to the end of everything and I'm like chugging the whole glass just before I run out the door. So the card that I pulled for the tarot was the King of Pentacles. Now I know the King of Pentacles, he's a pretty big, it's a good card. The King is at the top of the deck, so it's about completion at that point, right? Whereas the Ace is the beginning of the suit, so the Ace is always representing beginnings. So let's see. It's another one talking about an ending. When you sip, we sip. I love it. Well, let's have another sip, shall we? So in the Divine Feminine Healing Collective in November, I'm going to be putting on a workshop about creating a broom. And this will be a small broom for your altar, for cleaning off your altar, or, for in your house, little witch broom. And I have another group that I started up. It's called the Crystal Coven, just Crystal Coven. If you want to be involved in that, let me know. And it's about we're going to be putting on, because I've collaborated with somebody on it I created the group and then invited her right away, but we'll be putting on actual going crystal hunting. So there'll be events where we're going to go crystal hunting. So it's about crystals and stuff like that, if you're into that stuff. Okay, let's see what our King of Pentacles has to say. He's right at the back of the book too. So, overflowing material abundance, patience and determination, a confident and warm leader providing for others, comfort and security, personal growth, goals reached, prosperity and success. Shadow seer, so that's this inverted position, obsessing over riches, seeking status, greed, a need to balance the material with the spiritual. Exuding warmth, the King of Pentacles welcomes you into his study for a heartfelt conversation about life. He's worked his fields, met a soulmate, found wealth, and now he looks over his dream manifested as he offers you one of the tarot's most potent messages of forthcoming abundance and prosperity. So see, if you let go, right? If you move away from those things, this is what's there, okay? The most important thing to be done is to enjoy it all, sweet seer. Enjoy every lesson, challenge, failure, and success. He reminds you to get clear on where you want to be, to plan and envision. There's manifesting power in the longing and so much joyful expansion as you bring your greatest potential into existence. Happiness happens when you do better than the last time, and in the pursuit of personal growth, allow yourself the extravagance of desire. The rest is a consequence of faith, steady habits, and the courage to cultivate enormous dreams. Dream your biggest light to life. I dream my endless potential into existence with steady effort and desire. And it is. It's steady progress forward. Steady forward progress that gets you to your goals, right? So the last card that I picked was Stranger, Curiosity, number 53. So let's see where we're headed. Let's see what this message has to say. Number 53. So again, the first card was 45, which would be a 9, and this card is 53, which would actually be an 8. The King of Pentacles, because he's one of the houses, he doesn't actually have a number in the tarot realm. Stranger, the other, moving past fear of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty, as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you. Look closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to enter any concept of other beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. And that's what keeps us trapped. You think about somebody that grew up in a home that's been traumatized, right? Sameness for that person is more trauma. And we find ourselves in relationships, in jobs, in roles and experiences that reaffirm that trauma, that keep bringing it back over and over and over again, right? Sometimes what's strange for somebody can actually be the better thing. We can move out of that, right? For me, I had not been around safe and secure relationships. The relationships with my parents were not healthy. My parents weren't healthy. So I went on and I had relationships that were unhealthy. And it wasn't until I healed myself that I was able to recognize that what is strange to me is safe and secure. And that's okay to go towards strange. I don't want to stay in the familiar. I don't want to stay in that familiar space of unhealthiness or toxicity, right? So let's see where you must refute nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience, but don't miss this opportunity for learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view, other ways of seeing, with humility and grace. This is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. So that sounds like a pretty cool message. So it's time to let go of something, right? When you let go of something, you're going to get what you were looking for. It just might not look like what you were looking for. It may be a little bit unfamiliar to you, because I think that wherever you are is maybe not the best place to be. Where you want to go is really beautiful, but it's going to seem different, and it's just going to be strange, right? And it's that, as I was saying, with trauma, right? If you've lived in an environment, if your environment yelling is normal, then in a quiet environment where people don't get mad, that's actually going to trigger you, right? When people don't express their anger, initially that's going to seem really scary, because you're going to be like, well, what are they thinking? Are they mad? Are they furious? What's going to happen next? Because it's just unknown to you, right? So think about that when you're exploring and navigating through to the next stages of your life, that sometimes, even though it seems like it's strange or different, it can still be better. It can be healthier. It can be a better space for you to be in. So yeah, and it was interesting because I was, doing some scrolling this morning when I got up, because I always jump and try to check my notifications and respond to any comments and stuff. But I saw a teal swan thing go across my screen, and I don't know if you're a supporter of her or not. I think that there's been definitely late there was some controversy around who she is behind the scenes, and I don't know. I didn't delve too deep into it, but she was saying that in her video that you can't heal, you have to heal you can't heal relationship wounds outside of a relationship. And I don't necessarily agree. I think that you won't be aware of your relationship issues outside of a relationship, that those environment is where you will notice what your triggers are, and it will allow you to see, oh, I need to heal this part of me. But I don't think that the healing needs to be done in that. There are some environments that are so incredibly toxic that you can't heal in them anyway. If you're in a toxic environment where the person's yelling at you, belittling you, abusing you, has any other toxic, unhealthy behaviors, how are you going to heal yourself and navigate and make your nervous system feel safe and make yourself be able to be grounded and mindful and deal with all of that when you're in an unhealthy environment, right? I think that you can't, it's that kind of thing. You can't heal in the environment that cut you. That's the premise that I've always went with. Yes, the environment that cut you is going to teach you where you need to heal and where those spots are that you need to, work on. but healing inside that environment may not always be possible. You have to be in an environment that's supportive of that healing and that feels safe. If you're not feeling safe, it's really hard to build that balance, right? To soothe your nervous system if you're feeling consistently threatened or unsafe or unloved. How do you build your self-worth if someone's making you feel worthless in that environment? So anyway, that was just something that I wanted to highlight. Sometimes we have to leave the environments we're in so that we can truly heal. Sometimes we actually have to let go because we can't, right? If you had a toxic fish bowl and the fish isn't going to get better in that bowl of gross, disgusting water. He has to be put in a new environment that's healthy, that he can be safe in, right? It's the same concept. Anyway, I love you. That was my Wednesday Oracle reading. I don't know what stuck with you or what, and I know I do pull one tarot card, but it's because I think the thing is beautiful. Hello. I'm like, as soon as you say Texas, I'm like, oh my God, I know who that is. and then I'm like, but I'm afraid to say in case I'm wrong. We do that too, where we just are afraid to say anything because you're worried about being wrong and what that could represent. But yeah. So anyway, that's my big thing is, I think that whoever this reading was for, it's time to let go of something. You're going to get what you want ultimately. And it may not look exactly like you think it's supposed to look. It's going to show up. Pentacles they've been showing up quite a bit. I've noticed that too. I think like I've had like the 6, the 8, the 10, like there's been so many. You're right. So it must be a good time. Hi, Melissa. How are you, love? I hope that you're going to have a wonderful Wednesday. I plan on having a wonderful Wednesday. I plan on every day being a wonderful day when I get up. So many pentacles. Well, let's see what tomorrow's will bring. Maybe we'll get something surprising. I've gotten a couple of swords and a couple of cups, but definitely a lot of pentacles, which is weird because I'm trying to think, I would have gotten cups and swords, but oh, I'm looking at the wrong book. That's why I'm not seeing wands. I haven't had very many wands. I was like, what is the other suit? I haven't had very many wands, which is weird, but interesting. It's interesting that it's a pentacle season. It's pentacle season. So yeah, anyway, I love you guys and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to hop off because it's 7:40, which means I have literally 5 minutes to get my crap together and get out the door, or else I will be late. And I mean, I walk in on time pretty much every day, if not late. So I like to try to at least get there on time. But I will see you guys tomorrow morning, and I'll probably put out some more content and stuff for today. And just remember next week or like Monday, and I'll clarify that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's Monday is the new moon, and I will be having the new moon event. Yep, the new moon is on October 25th. So October 25th, we'll be in the Divine Feminine Healing Collective doing our new moon ceremony, which is a Zoom meeting, so that we can interact together. And there'll be lots of tarot and oracle cards and crystals and healing. We'll do our meditation, of course, and we'll talk about how astrologically the new moon shows up for you this time and what we need to be focusing our intentions or what new habits we should be starting based on how the moon is for you. Okay, so if you want to join me with that and you're not part of the group, just let me know and I will send you the link. Anyway, I love you. And again, now I'm 2 minutes by. Bye. I gotta go. Bye.